Hey guys, what's going on? This is Drew and
Soberoni.
And welcome back to G&A Podcast, our favorite position. Episode 69.
Yes, episode 69. Insert joke here.
Yes. And we have a huge, giant, throbbing episode for you today.
Yes. There's going to be tons of 69 jokes and sex jokes in this episode just because we're super mature.
Exactly. Yes. Double episodes. Double something else if you're really lucky. Wink, wink.
Ha 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 ha. But yeah, we skipped a week, so we got to do another double episode.
Woo! We're super consistent, guys.
We're getting there. So first up, let's talk about Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, Episodes 6 and 7. Which is actually fitting, because these were kind of like good episodes to talk about together as opposed to individually.
Agreed.
Yeah, this was like the ending of the arc.
Mm-hmm.
The school camping arc.
I like the magical villain. He's kind of like a favorite of mine.
It's interesting. Yeah, he's cool. I like that he's not in any way an actual like combatant. His abilities are just purely support.
Yeah. But still very OP.
Yeah, super still. I still don't know what his abilities are. I'm guessing it's just...
No, it's literally to condense people into, like, marbles.
So then what about the flying and all the other stuff that he does?
It's a magic!
I'm magic!
It's a magic!
So he's just an excuse to do a bunch of bullshit. Got it.
Yeah. I think, like, his major power is, like...
to turn people into balls.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to have a lot of sexual innuendo in this episode. Obviously, you know who my favorite villain is now.
Yes, it's the overly done yandere. Ripoff.
Toga, I love you!
Ripoff.
It's beautiful. First off, she's not ripoff. She's completely different from Yuno. Yuno is not hyper, genki, cheery, nice and happy like Toga is. Toga is just so lovable and sweet. I want to like hug her and like
as she drains your blood.
Yuno is very destructive and mean and cold-hearted to everyone but Yuki.
This girl just like hacked a bunch of people and then
because she loved them
out.
and she did it out of like happy, joyous expressions. No. All right, let's put it this way. Knows what she's doing is fucked up, and she's very stoic and cold about it. Whereas Toga's kind of like,
oh, she's just
this
crazy.
Is fun. Oh, I love everybody.
So
Let's have a good time.
So she's just batshit insane. Got it.
And she makes the best faces.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
her
exactly.
faces are pretty good. Pretty good
exactly.
faces.
I don't guarantee it, but you know what? Her sucking face is gonna be the thumbnail for this episode.
Her what?
Her sucking face when she was sucking the blood out of
Urako.
Yeah.
Really?
It fits the theme, 69.
Nah. Okay, so we just watched Cold and Kamuy, and we're gonna just blow past all of that. Episode 69. Come on.
Well,
we'll get to that very soon. I can't wait to get.
They were kind of like in a 69 position almost.
No, they weren't. One was on top of the one. Was left the other one.
Literally, if Uraka just flipped around the other way around.
Yes,
they'd be in a 69.
You're right, but that's like
so.
Other than that, they weren't in any.
Episode 69.
They were not in any kind of 69 position. I don't know what you're talking about.
The best part of the whole two-parter. Well, I'm gonna call it a two-parter because it's a two-parter for me. The best part of the whole two-parter was the fight, like the Toga Uraka fight, in my opinion. "Quote unquote" fight.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it could have been more. I feel like it was a little too abrupt for my taste. Like, it was like cool CQC, and then Toga gives like this really creepy speech.
But that's why it was so great. It was so unnerving and unsettling. They did a really good job of that. It was like, ooh, that's creepy.
I'm sorry. I still can't be. No matter what, if someone jabs me with something and is trying to suck my blood, I will literally like. And I'm on top of them, I will literally...
Mr. Tough Guy over here.
Break their face.
Yo, somebody came at me and tried to suck my blood. I beat them up, man.
If I'm on top of them...
I beat the shit
literally,
out of them.
and they're just jab the needle inside me... at the very least, I try to take the needle out. At the very least.
At the very least, you will get stabbed and be in shock, just like Urika was. And
oh my god.
Not know what the hell's going on.
First of all, I wouldn't be a hero, so I'd probably just kill Toga right there and then. Like, this is, for sure this is attempted murder. Stab her in the face.
Other than that, though, there weren't really any great fights. Like, it was kind of just
I mean, first of all, calling that a great fight is you're pushing it.
You're pushing it. It was a great
scene.
It was a great scene. It was a great scene.
It was a great, questionable scene. Not a good fight. There was no good fighting in this. It was like fighting, but there wasn't like a whole like fight. I
a lot of them were wrapped up. Like the what's his name? Fishbone or Wishbone? The guy with the teeth, the creepy guy. Yeah, him. He got messed up in like a minute by Tokiomi.
Yeah, with the shadow.
Every other fight ended in like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, either ended with someone escaping, or someone escaping.
Yeah,
or
getting caught, or
getting the living shit beaten out of them.
So there weren't many great fights these 2 episodes, but I still enjoyed them because they were good wrap-up episodes for this arc, and we already had a bunch of good fights before this one. So.
Yeah, I'm not greedy for more by any means. Like, it was a good escape scene. Especially when the magician's like, oh yeah, you got those balls, but the balls were in my mouth all this time. And I'm like, girl, same.
Somebody needs to do I'm pretty sure there's going to be a porn parody of this like whole arc at some point. The balls you want are actually in my mouth. I also love the villain's plan, because it actually kind of makes sense. Like, oh, we're just going to ruin your reputation to the point where everyone just
doesn't trust you. Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's pretty
good.
Yeah.
Pretty good plan. It's not like a generic, we're going to just
kill you. I wouldn't say it's not. I've seen this plan done before.
It's usually, alright, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but usually, as far as
I wouldn't call it super original.
Most shonen villain plans end at, I want to conquer the world because I'm bad. This actually has some thought put into it. It has an additional layer of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's fun.
Yes, and like the whole we're gonna corrupt Bakugo because he already seems kind of batshit insane, and once we corrupt him, no one's gonna trust UA anymore, and no one's gonna trust the Hero Society because we took a perfectly good person and turned him bad. Like,
I hope they do something different though, because this reeks
I hope
of Naruto.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was literally just about to say that.
Captured Sasuke. I mean Bakugo.
Right.
The Sound 4. I mean Villains League.
And now Orochimaru. I mean,
so yeah. But other than that, great 2 episodes. I loved All Might's reaction. Like, you can clearly tell he's pissed. I like how the students themselves are in this dilemma now, where like some of them want to like get revenge and go after the villains, and even Deku's kind of just like, I don't know what I should do, and the rest of the students, like Ida, are in the other camp where they're just like, nope, leave it to the pros.
Yeah, like, and it's funny because it's like, you can see both sides. I mean, obviously, I feel like, just because it's shown in anime, the kids are still gonna go after them because they're stupid.
You know what's gonna happen is there's gonna be like a small group of people, like, it's gonna be like Tetsu and Deku and probably Todoroki, and then they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna go and launch our attack plan, and then they're gonna get caught, and then the other students that were against it originally are gonna pop out of nowhere and save them and be like, all right, we're a team.
And then after everyone gets their asses kicked, then they're heroes.
Then All Might shows up and
exactly.
like, I'm gonna fuck you all up.
Right. You're all kind of messed up by my kids.
So great 2 episodes. Looking forward to new arc.
Yes. Indeed. With that being said, let's move on to Steins Gate 0. Let's see. Steins Gate 0. Let's see what happened last week.
Episodes 5 and 6.
Episodes 5 and 6, yes. What happened last week? Because we just watched this...
What happened just 10 minutes ago for me, because I just watched both of them back to back.
Oh, right, you did.
Yeah.
This is why I don't watch multiple episodes at once, because like they all kind of start getting jumbled together, and I don't know what.
Well, usually I don't either, but I was behind on a couple of things, especially Steins Gate. But last week or episode 5 was
I remember
Moeka showing up. Yeah, wow, man, with Steins Gate, the episodes kind of blend so flawlessly together that it's hard to separate where one ends and the other begins.
Exactly.
But yeah, Moeka showed up, and was that the episode with Kagiri where she shows up too? Or was that
she showed up towards the end.
Toward the end. So yeah, so we see Moeka maybe not evil this time around.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Probably not. No, they already established the evil one.
Yeah, probably not. So she's not. Well, for now she's not evil.
Yeah, for now she's not evil.
And she's working with Daru and Kyoma and all of them to track down Kagiri, who is amnesic at the end of the episode. She just kind of showed up at Ruka's shrine, and now they're taking care of her.
She didn't show up at the shrine.
She did. She showed up at Ruka's shrine, and then Ruka brought her to...
yeah, okay.
The lab.
I in my mind, I was like, oh, the scene we introduced her to is, like, at the lab. But, yeah. But, yeah, no, she comes out of nowhere, and she's like, hey, I don't have amnesia, and this is why you guys could never find me.
It's kind of upsetting that if Kyoma just didn't hang up on Ruka the first time around, last episode, they would have just solved this by now. Yeah. So like a whole episode dedicated to this runaround of, we gotta find Ruka, or find Kagiri. And then Ruka just shows up like, oh, by the way, you had talked to me like you were supposed to.
Yes,
you found her.
Yeah, this is why they don't respect the traps.
Exactly. And I did like everyone's reaction to finding Kagiri, especially Susa's reaction.
Oh my god, let me tell you, this bitch literally for like 10 seconds, and I know this is probably because of this, like, I don't know, lack of animation, they kind of just were like not thinking about her, so they kind of just let her face remain the same, and she just had like, literally, as there was dialogue going between Kagiri and Rintaro. Rintaro?
Kyoma? I'm just gonna call him Kyoma. I'm just gonna keep calling him Kyoma.
I'm gonna call him Okabe. He has so many names. But as they keep going back and forth, and you just see they pan back to Rintaro and Suzuka behind her. She literally has like the same pissed off face for like, I'm not even kidding, for like 20 seconds. Yeah. Like it's just frozen in anger.
They're having a conversation and she just like has the most mean bitch face looking at like, this bitch made me run around for 10 years looking for her.
So like, oh my god, it was perfect.
It was probably the most unintentionally funny moment.
Yeah. He's like, oh.
I totally skipped over, but we got introduced to a new character who's also an English-speaking scientist.
Miss Judy Reyes. I actually don't know what her first name is, but
I think it is Judy Reyes.
No, that's an actress.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, you know how well my grasp of pop culture is, so...
Jesus, wait. I actually feel like we need to look. What happened if it actually was Judy Reyes?
What if it is Judy Reyes?
Oh my god.
What if it's Judy Reyes doing the voice of Judy Reyes?
It definitely wasn't Judy Reyes.
Do you know if Judy Reyes knows Japanese or not?
I know Judy Reyes' voice, and that was not her.
Yeah, maybe she's a really great actor.
Oh. That'd fuck with me for like the rest of my life, but probably not. Now I have to go back and see like what that.
Whatever her name is, we're gonna call her Judy Reyes from now on.
Yes, Judy Reyes.
Judy Reyes shows up
after she not so halfway stalks poor Maho.
Only partially Maho stalker. Somebody stalks Maho right from the get-go.
Yeah, as soon as she gets off the bus, off the train, she's like, someone's definitely stalking me.
And then she gets away from that stalker and runs into another stalker. So yeah. Such is the life of Maho. Stalk her everywhere at all times.
Shout out to Maho for running into literally the most dangerous place you can run into when you're getting chased by someone, an alleyway.
I don't understand this, guys. If you're getting chased by someone, first off, stick to public places. Second off, go into like a crowded store for like half an hour. Just go into a crowded store. Yes. There you go. You're fine. No one's gonna ambush you. She runs into an alleyway in like a fucking construction site or whatever, and I'm like, maybe not the best place to run when you're being chased.
Exactly. Yeah, it was funny, and then of course I love the introduction. First of all, I couldn't understand what she was saying because her English is worse than the first Doctor.
Although still good for an anime, I'd say. Like, if this was any other anime...
It was bordering on, like, pretty shitty. But I can't understand you, then it's like,
First off, it's not like this guy's English is perfect either.
It's not, but it's very easy to, like, understand what he's saying.
If she was speaking
Hers
English...
was not.
If she showed up in, I don't know, Golden Kamuy and started speaking, you'd be like, wow, that's a pretty good... Did they hire an English voice actor for this?
I assume it'd be the same people who are speaking, like, Ainu. But yeah. It was a good episode. Well, that was a good episode. But then the next episode felt really, like... next episode was the shit hits the fan episode. It was, but God, was it just like at the beginning? It was cool because, like I said, Suzuha. I think that's when Suzuha gave like the bitch face of life, and then they're like kind of talking and saying like, "Oh, who you are," and like Mayuri was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be super nice to you for some reason. I can't put my finger on it." And that was nice and wonderful and everything. But then after that, till the end, was just like, let's go to a festival. Like, I wish that happened instead of, like, what really happened was just them going to a festival, which was really boring as fuck.
When they went to the festival...
It was really boring.
I feel like they did miss a few opportunities there. Like, they could have done a lot more with the festival. As opposed to... Nah.
Yeah,
They did some stuff. Like, they did a couple of funny scenes with Suzuha and Daru.
Yeah.
First off, don't sexually harass your daughter.
Oh my God, that was
that was kind of creepy.
Awful. He was like, "Hey, could you?" And she's wearing a strange outfit. She was like, I forgot. He's like, "Oh, could you say brother? Could you something?" And then I'm just like, why would you say that to your daughter? What the hell's wrong with you?
Listen, anime, we've come accustomed to this brother-sister thing, but we haven't gotten accustomed to the daughter-father thing. We gotta work our way there.
Exactly.
We need a few more light novel adaptations with daughters falling in love with their fathers before we cross that bridge.
Yes, and this bridge will not be crossed with Suzuka and Daru of all people. Whoa.
One of the complaints I do have about this series, though, is I don't like Suzuha in the original series. I liked a lot more than I like now. To me, now she's kind of like an extension of Kilma. She's just kind of depressed and lethargic and lost in her thoughts all the time.
I wouldn't say lethargic, but yeah, but no, she's definitely like a one-note kind of
character. Yeah,
yeah, she's like, oh, I'm kind of like, because like,
which I get, but still,
yeah,
not a very fun character to watch play out. Except for the parts that are fun, where she like interacts with Daru, which we need more of. Just not as creepy as the sex thing.
And then let's cut to the end of this week's or last week's episode? This week's episode, where clearly Miss Reyes is like the new Mooka. Like very clearly, like she appears with the other American doctor. They make some small talk, literally there for no reason. And as they leave,
well, they're there to see the Shrine Maidens, and then there weren't any, so they left.
Yeah, so like I said, no reason. And as they leave, you just see Reyes give like the most like, you know what? I'm suspicious.
Now that I'm thinking about that, I feel like that's a fake. I feel like they're trying to throw us off because Steins Gate is so subtle with the way it does things that I feel like they wouldn't outright just show the villain that way.
I think they would, only because they're like, because the real mystery isn't like discovering who's behind it, what's happening. The real mystery is how do we change it.
Yeah,
at this point,
but
like,
even so, like when the whole Moeka thing happened, it was like, oh my god. Or like just in general, when villains pop up in Steins Gate, it tends to be a surprise. Versus like, hey, this new character was introduced and she's also evil. Like, it feels like there's less emotional impact with
I mean,
her
at this point, like, even if that scene didn't happen, you literally could only narrow it down to like 3 people: her, Mocha, and the doctor, and the other doctor.
But I feel like that's
like a stretch.
There's more impact from either the doctor or Moeka being the villain than there is just this new character they just introduced and just comes off as like super villainous. I just feel like it's like a red herring. I feel like she might as well have just came up to Rintaro and been like, I'm gonna kill you. My name is Judy Reyes, and I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer.
I'm Judy Reyes, the actress, and I'm a murderer. I'm Judy Reyes, actress, scientist, and I'm gonna murder you.
But you're gonna see probably when I'm not understanding what she said in English. Like, I am Judy Reyes, and I am going to kill you and your friends.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just feel like, I hope.
I hope so. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if that was the case.
Like, out of nowhere, it was actually the two friends that are hanging out all of a sudden with, that they went to the festival with, or the shrine with. Those two girls that just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're actually
they're actually the villains.
Hi, I'm Judy Reyes, actress, scientist, murderer.
But, oh yeah, so shit hit the fan at the end. Same thing that happened in the first season.
Basically, like, time stop. Or the clock stopped. They're like, all this time stopped. Oh, I wonder what's happening. And he's like, ah, shit. And then before he can finish that word, a bunch of people in masks come in with guns, just pointing them at everyone. So someone's gonna die next episode.
Mm-hmm.
So put your bets on who's gonna die literally 1,000,000 times this season.
Mayuri. Again.
Oh, I don't
know.
I think it's gonna be Kagari.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be Kagari a bunch of times. And then Mayuri's gonna be... Only because that would make Mayuri's suffering worse. Is that Kagari dies and then Mayuri just falls into depression, and then that makes Okabe fall into more depression. It's gonna be a cycle of depression.
A cycle of depression.
Also, Kurisu showed up.
Oh yeah, everyone found out that she was like an AI. That's so crazy. I will say the ending was really good because before people couldn't even like react to the fact that like, oh, here's this AI person that's looks like Kurisu that's been talking to Okabe all this time is here. Before they can digest that, like, now they're people with guns.
Mm-hmm. And I also like what they're doing. Maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. Where it's like the whole theme of this season is Okabe trying to get over Kurisu. Well, not get over, but cope with Kurisu's death and like try to find a way to overcome it. And he's just at all turns, everyone that's in his life now is just like a different version of Kurisu. Like you literally have someone who looks exactly like Kurisu is like an AI, but it's an AI. Someone who looks just like Kurisu in real life, but that doesn't have Kurisu's personality.
Yep.
And then you have
someone with her personality.
Who's a Loki.
Yeah.
So it's like you have all the versions of Kurisu you could possibly want, except the actual one. So I don't know. I just think that that's an interesting way to slice it up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's episode.
Oh, yes. Now, I think this is finally the turning point where I'm going to actually get really invested in this. Because it's been kind of slow starting, but the first season was very slow starting, too. So.
Exactly. Although I'm surprised they're doing all this shit, like, at episode 8, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, sorry, episode 7.
Yeah.
But, without any further ado, let's get to...
Is this going to be our episode of the week for both weeks?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
It kind of is.
Episode of the week for both weeks.
For 4 weeks?
for both weeks.
Oh, for both... Oh, right.
Because episode
well, I guess it's
3
it's 3 weeks for me.
Oh, 3 weeks in a row for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Last week was this... I realized now how, like, this show's cut up.
By the way, Hinamatsuri, episode 6 and 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One, like, the first... Basically, anything that's super serious or, like, heartwarming or even sad, that's all Anzu. And all the funny, stupid shit is actually the main character, Hina. They're both split up into both different arcs.
And all the suffering
and it is... yeah, and it's just general suffering is... Yeah, he told me is a beautiful mixture of both. And it just works out so well. Mm-hmm. Last week was literally so serious because it was just all Anzu. It was Anzu and the Anzu arc, and basically she stops living with the homeless people because they were forcing them out of their little camp. Yeah, their commune. And then they're like, okay. And she's like, oh, we can just survive if we can just find someplace together and stick together. And then they're like, no, we need to, like, give this girl, like, a chance at, like, a normal life.
I love how they did that, too, because it's, like, it's rare in a comedy that you see that kind of development, where usually everything's, like, the same for the whole show.
Yeah, we're just gonna move to another place.
We're gonna move to another place and be together, whatever. And it's, like, this fake artificial change, but this time it was like, I don't know if we're ever going to see these homeless guys again. They did their whole role with Anzu, and they raised her, and then they were like, all right, now, don't even bother trying to change us or change the location or whatever. Just, we'll find you a place to be adopted.
Exactly.
And you got to move on with your life. So, I don't know, I feel like that kind of a growth in a character and that kind of growth in the situation, and the setting is really good.
Like, it's like I admire her so much and her whole story. Like, I'm so here for Anzu.
Anzu's great.
Like, it started so funny, like so stupid funny. Like, she's homeless and now she's trying to get home, but she broke her machine. I'm like, and then it's like, oh no, it's getting more serious. Like, because I just live as a homeless person and live with other homeless people and kind of figure out how that life works and learning the value of money, like from a very modest way of living. And then it just came up to this point where it's like, okay, well, we've done all we can. Now let's move you into, like, a real family. And then just this episode where it continues with her just, living in, like, a bed. Getting, like, she's, like, getting used to living in a bed. And, like, she even wants to work. She wants to work.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I've earned money, like, I did what I had to do to earn money this entire time, so I need to keep doing that. I can't just, like,
take free housing and food.
Exactly. And it was just like, oh my God.
I love Anzu. She's so fucking great. Oh,
she is.
She's so great.
She is. Like, I don't understand. Like, if he told me he wasn't there, I'd call her best girl, but...
Yeah, it's so difficult because then he told me he shows up and it's just wonderful.
She's just amazing. Yeah, she just steals the show. Even though she's supposed to be a side character.
So not only is this, like, clearly the best comedy of the year so far.
Oh, yeah.
By far. Like, it's actually legitimately good
not even a
drama.
Joke. Yeah.
So this episode, both episodes were great. The first episode 6 was great because
and it wasn't even that much comedy, and it was still really good.
It was just like an almost pure drama episode, and it was still amazingly good. And then this week was the more the comedy episode.
Yeah, like it was Anzu, and Anzu's thing had more comedy in it because like she'd be like, every time she said something like like someone who grew up poor would say, like, oh, 800 yen. Wow, I could eat. That's 8 cups of ramen. Yeah. And then they start, like, her adopted parents start, like, breaking out into tears.
Yeah.
like, dish you.
Yeah. And Anzu's part, like, yeah, you're right. Anzu has, like, those segments of the show where there's some comedy, but it's more, like, heartwarming because she was getting used to working there and bonding with her new parents. And she got her own room, and she's seeing her, like, so happy that she could turn the lights on and off and stuff. It was really cute. So cute. And then we had
Hina.
The exact opposite of Anzu. Like the home wrecking abomination that just ruins lives.
Pretty much. And who is just like beyond
lazy.
Selfish.
Yeah, selfish and lazy.
Literally, she's like, oh, everyone's yelling at me because I fall asleep all the time and I can't eat as much as I want to. Mm-hmm. Nah, and so I'm gonna become student council. I'm gonna run for student council because that means I'll have power. No one can tell me no.
No one can tell me what to do, and that works out great. I love how they all just like everyone in the whole situation knows this is a horrible
idea.
Like her teacher's like, oh my God,
is anyone else on a run? Please.
And a lot of them are jerks. Like, the teacher's obviously an asshole. Even the other teachers, he's an asshole. And even he told me his friend was like, wait, let's let Hina do this because I want to be hysterical. So hilarious that this is going to be... everyone is an asshole to Hina.
Oh God, and I love how, like, for some reason, Nita brings this up, and the people in the Yakuza just get totally into it. They're like, let's hire lawyers.
Did you notice, Nita always has this habit of, like, he vents his frustrations with Hina to some group of people in his life, and then they always like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. You have to help.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to do something about this, obviously.
Like, he just keeps looking for, like, reinforcement of his, like, I don't have to do that. That's a stupid idea, right?
And then they're all like, no, you're stupid. You have to do something.
Yeah, and then they take it to the next over-the-top level.
Oh my God. And then her speech.
Her speech was great.
She kept reading all her physical cues that she's supposed to have. She kept reading them out loud. She's like, raise your hand up.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Pause. Bow. The funniest part was when the principal was like, wait, you can't run for student council president. And she just looks at him for like a minute.
Like, hi, I'm running for student council president. And it was like, oh my gosh, she ignored him.
And then, of course, it just gets... At the end, you became treasurer. Oh, that's not president. I ain't doing this.
And she just never comes.
Gets stuck with it.
And then, he told me someone gets...
So the whole episode, the whole arc was just for Hitomi to end up as student council secretary.
Yes. Oh my god. And then we got her, what I'm dubbing as Hitomi phase. Where it's just like
her tongue out. And then the last part was, oh my god, the last part was great too.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
I forgot that was a thing. So Nita keeps trying to ask Usaka on a date, and she's just kind of playing hard to get, and then I don't know, someone, I think it's Hitomi brings up the fact that like, oh, if they get together and everything works out, like she'll be your mom, and then Hina's like, what's a mom? Like,
then they like come up with this plan to subtly hint that maybe Urako should take Nita up on his offer for a date.
Of course that doesn't happen.
Because Hina's an idiot. He told me, like, right, you need to be very subtle about this and hint at how good Nita is so that maybe she'll be more open to the idea of dating him. And then Hina's like, alright, I got this. Nita wants to date you.
Yeah. And then she's like, wow. He sends his kid to do his dirty work. And I love Hitomi because she's so insightful. She's like, oh no. If anything, now her opinion of Nita has gone down. It's worsened.
That was great. The fact that everyone knows that Urako is just... Hitomi basically took over the shop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Uraka's like, you're not needed here anymore. And she was like,
And then, of course, the best part was just Nita being so happy and sweet.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a date. And he just breaks Nita's leg.
This show is so fucking hilarious.
And he's like, don't worry, for you, I'm gonna get you a mom.
And then the ending was just perfect. The Urako turning him down.
Urako turns him down because he ends up talking about
too much.
Literally the entire time.
And then he ends up at the hospital with a little sock puppet.
He's like, I'm your mom.
I'm your mom. He just looks at him like he's fucking crazy.
Smile, please. I'm like, oh my god.
I don't know what show this is like, but it's so hilarious to see all these characters and their stories.
I feel like this show is just like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on what kind of comedy it has, but think of it with like the art style of JoJo. And if JoJo was like just like a comedy.
Which
it is, but like if it tried to be a comedy, I should say.
I don't know, like the whole premise of the show is just aside from the Anzu parts, is just the joy of watching all these people suffer in unexpected ways.
Yeah, like in the stupidest ways ever.
Most ridiculous way.
What other anime do you know where a girl gets roped into being blackmailed into being a middle school bartender?
And that's not even like that's just her arc. That's a part of her arc. That's not even the premise of the show or the main character of the show.
Nope.
It's just one part of a side character's story.
Yup.
So yeah, Hinamatsuri.
Is she even a side character at this point? I think she's more like a main character.
A main character, but she's not the main character.
She's not the main character, but she's a main character, definitely.
Yeah. Hinamatsuri, so if you're not watching Hinamatsuri, please do watch it.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
like
great.
literally just have to watch it. Did Sloan talk about this? And
you know what? I forgot if Sloan mentioned this or not.
I don't know.
I think she did. Didn't she?
in my mind, I feel like he has to because this is just like
I'm
amazing.
just like superimposing everything I think is good anime in Sloane's presentation.
Exactly. Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about Sloane's appearance at
Castle Point Anime Convention.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Yeah, that we just went to yesterday.
So, shout out to you, Sloane.
Uh-huh.
And music. And yes, so do check out Hinamatsuri if you're not watching it. Strongest recommendation. This is like the Centaur's life of this year. So
that means no one's gonna watch it.
And
it's gonna be still gonna be incredible.
Classic,
yeah.
So with all that said, let's move on to High School DxD Hero episodes. What, 5 and 6 or 4 and 5? No, wait, 4
5
and 5?
and 6.
No, because it starts from episode 0, and any chart doesn't count that as an episode.
Oh.
So episodes 4 and 5 of High School DxD Hero.
Let's see. How did I feel? Oh, it started with like the whole fight on the bridge, right?
Yep. So it just picks up right where the other episode left off, and we have a giant fight on the bridge between the heroes. The hero faction was it Soso and all his allies versus. Why am I forgetting Issei and all everyone else on the school trip?
Yeah, everyone else.
Where I go through 20 different names right now.
I feel like that fight wasn't too memorable.
It wasn't. It was
except for the introduction of, is it Merlin?
Morgan Le Fay.
Morgan Le Fay.
Close.
Someone from Arthur Land.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, basically. Oh yeah, all the enemies are basically like Fako characters.
Yeah, they're all literal. Soso's not yet, but Soso, Siegfried, John, Hercules, Morgan. So they're all just famous heroes. There's basically Fate at this point.
Yeah.
Reincarnations of favorite famous
Cow.
heroes. Yeah. And then we got their fight, which, it wasn't too impressive. It was more like a lot of just energy beams shooting all over the place.
Yeah, just like basic fighting.
The only impressive part was Rose Weiss coming out super drunk.
Oh yeah, she's like
Gate of Babylon.
Yeah, Gate of Babylon, mega hyper beam, laser blast. Like she probably take him on, like Gilgamesh and win.
That part was I think that the reason that fight wasn't so interesting was because they were saving it up for the next episode,
which had like
a ton much better fighting.
Yeah, where they were like, okay, guys, so we're gonna do our best. So you high school kids, you have to just do all the fighting for us.
Yeah, just do all the fighting. We'll be there doing some maybe later.
Yeah, essentially, which we knew how it was gonna like work out anyways.
The Fox girl is now becoming like one of my favorite girls.
Only because she's
Umu.
Yeah, that's literally it. She umus.
She umus, and she's a cute fox loli, and she's wearing a Miko outfit. And
I am filing my lawsuit literally tomorrow.
She is
on behalf of
little mini fox.
On
Nero.
Behalf of the Fate series.
A little lowly fox Nero. I love her. So she's super adorable.
She would be if literally the animation wasn't so goddamn awful.
I don't know why. The animation's great. You just have a problem with their chins.
Literally, me and Flandre. Hi, Flandre, if you're watching this.
Don't flatter him.
We were just shitting on it the entire time because of freaking pointy chin porn and the fact, like, there's one scene, I think it was the end of episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Where she hops on Issei's back and she like looks at him and her face looks like she's in the middle of being punched.
It's because she's so small. It's because her skin is so soft and smooth that
you're not helping. You're not helping the fact that it looks really bad.
It doesn't look bad.
It looked like her face was turning into a crescent.
It looks like her skin is really smooth and soft.
No, it looked really fucking weird in that one frame.
Yeah,
your face shouldn't be morphing from frame to frame.
It's because it's so soft. What are you talking about? You couldn't understand texture.
soft faces do not like melt into other shapes.
Yes, they do, because they're soft and pliable. And
no.
Yes, it's called being cute.
Okay, you're just trying the most. Also, shout out to Asia's ears, literally almost turning into Dumbo at one scene.
I've been saying this in season 1 though. Asia's ears are Dumbo ears.
No. Not even like, oh, the ears were like big or anything. They were big and not animated at all. It was literally just like these chunks of shape. It just looked like this weird trapezoid, and those are her ears. Like, I was expecting her to transform into a fucking mech and just shoot everyone. Like,
well, maybe then she'd be useful.
Yeah, right. She definitely would have been more useful in next episode. But yeah, like that for those few scenes, like that was really like hard for me to watch. It was really bad. Like Passion. You need to, like, step it up a little more. Sorry, girl. You need to do a little bit better.
I love my lowly fox girl. Anyway.
Okay, you're just blinded by lolies. I'm not. I can see objectively what's good and what's bad.
I'll agree with the Aja ears, but I will not back down from soft-skinned fox loli.
From soft, demorphing sin. Look like she drank a fucking Capri Sun.
That scared the shit out of me.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's go. The next episode, which actually was the major fight. First off, it starts off with a jobber fight between him and Black Panther, and then...
which literally was so hyped in the last episode, but then he easily just beats him in like 5 seconds.
I don't even know who that dude was. He just shows up and just gets killed.
Literally twice. Like, literally you see him in flashback getting beat. Yeah. And you see him in this episode getting beat. So I guess it's like a read the manga or the manga kind of thing.
Yeah. So that happens. But the big piece of this episode was a giant fight between the two factions yet again. Except this time around, it was an actual good fight.
Oh my god.
It was like the most ridiculous fight because we had like a Ninetales fighting a fucking Rayquaza versus...
or we had the Ninetales fighting Orochimaru's snake.
That's the thing that they cut out a part of the light novel because they did not bother to explain at all why Saji can turn into a giant snake or anything like that. It's implied that you should know why. But now he's just suddenly a giant snake. So I'm assuming that's going to be like in the OVA or something. So,
yay, because that makes a good anime if we have to, imply, things have to be implied and shit. Yes, this is what makes a great anime. Yes. We have to guess around half the plot.
Yes, it does.
It's not.
Sorry, it's not spelled out for you.
It kind of should.
Well, unless they redid all.
They should at least tell the story. Don't spell it out, but you have to actually tell me something. I think the reason they do it is
because season 3 skipped over it, and they were like, "Well, we can't redo all of season 3." So
okay, but you could have released an OVA before this. So like, you shouldn't be saying now, "Oh, they'll release an OVA explaining all the shit we don't understand." That kind of reeks of certain anime that we don't talk about. Fate Extra.
Well,
Fate Extra. Excuse me.
Let's not compare anything ever again to Fate Extra.
I don't know. That's what it smells like.
Because this is just a side thing.
Yeah, no. This is. I'm just saying. This is not the
story.
Okay. Yes. All of that is just nonsense. Like, if you took this one or two, this is like one of 2 inconsistencies within this whole series. Now, if you took those 1 and 2 inconsistencies and made a whole anime based off of inconsistencies, that is what Fate Extra is.
Exactly.
But anyways, back to the main point. Giant snake / fox fight. Everyone starts like, even the main guy like was Cao Cao? Yeah. Cao Cao makes he makes a joke about like everyone having what are things called?
Balance breaker?
Yeah, it's a balance breaker party or something like that. He says something like that. Because everyone just starts, all the enemies are revealing their broken balance breakers all at once.
Siegfried has like 4 extra arms. Jean has a
dragon. Just blue eyes white dragon.
Hercules has like
blue eyes white dragon made out of holy swords.
Yeah. Hercules has like rocket arms.
Rocket launcher arms. Can you talk about that? How messed up that was. He just shoots his rocket missiles, turns into Android 16 and just fires them. Poor, what's her name?
Rose Weiss.
Rose Weiss just goes down, and then Asia's like, "I got you," and she's like, "Huh, I'm fine, thanks." And then you just see two more rockets head towards her, and then the guy just jumps out at her, and you just see a giant explosion.
Damn. The only thing that kind of messed me up with this episode is like the fight was too quick.
Everyone just died.
The Sao fight was fine because I guess it was meant to kind of be quick because that was his whole gimmick. Like, I could kill you so quickly. And Issei kind of got chopped off his arm. Then he used a sensu bean to restore his arm. Whatever. But
that was crazy how Lily cut off his arm, just hopped away, and just leisurely just caught the arm in midair.
Yeah. But the other fights were way too fast. Like,
yeah, we didn't really see them.
Yeah, they're like, after Issei's fight, everyone else just showed up with the body of their of Issei's friend. Like, each of them has a separate
friends are
body.
just all, like, gone. Like, it's like, oh, well, we beat everyone.
So, that was kind of a disappointment. I wish they had stretched this out into 2 episodes.
Speaking of disappointment, Issei then is like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm all my feelings. I want to get stronger. And then other reincarnations are like, hey, time to release your full potential now.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of boob zombies that get summoned, which I thought was kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Literal boob zombies. They were just like the spirit of the molesters.
Yeah, the spirit of the molesters. Yes, Sao called them boob zombies. And then what I thought was going to be, which should have been a giant boob meteor that just blew everyone up. That would have been way cooler. Instead, it was just a giant summoning circle to summon Rios. And I'm like...
That was kind of a disappointment, too. But I'm not going to judge it just yet, because I don't know what's going to happen. For all I know, it summons Rios and a giant boob meteor. I don't fucking know.
I hope so. I hope she actually is the giant boob meteor.
I don't see how Rios being summoned is gonna
do anything.
Yeah, unless it's like Rios, Akeno, and Koneko get summoned, and then they, you know what, that might be it, because then Issei can fight Sao, Rios can fight somebody. I think Akeno still could fight Jean, and
I feel like they're still outnumbered.
No, I think it'd be even.
Also, like.
Because they have John, Sao, Herc, and...
Also, Rose Weiss is pretty freaking strong. Do you think Akane
She was drunk, so it doesn't count.
I'm pretty sure the fight sobered her up. Getting blown out of the sky tends to sober you up.
Either way, I don't know. They'll come up with some reason why they were on par. Maybe they got boosted from the summoning circle or something.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's something like that.
Either way, it was good. I liked it. I liked this episode more than the previous week's episode.
It was okay,
but
I'm not too impressed.
Anyway,
I'm not too impressed. That's just how I feel.
Speaking of not too impressed, let's talk about Persona 5 episodes 6 and 7.
God, I've seen the last episode like the week before so many times, and I still don't remember. I think it's literally just them trying to or them getting into the palace or trying to find the palace.
Yeah, well, they found the palace, and then they here's the problem with this show. It's maybe this particular arc, not the show in general, but it's a very boring kind of repetitive arc, because there's about 3 times where they just enter the house just to get on picture painted and then try to sneak into the palace, which works in the game because in the game it has to be repetitive where you're trying to get into the house and it creates tension and all that. Yeah. But in the show it's just literally like they go into the house and they get kicked out, and they go back into the house and they get kicked out, and then they go back into the house and they get kicked out. So it's hard to remember what even happened, but yeah, essentially they just went into the house and tried to reach the palace.
I think in the episode before this, for this week's one, they were like trying to confirm that like the artist was like a piece of crap.
Yeah, which they kind of did.
No, they doubted it out because they saw his palace, and they saw him have that whole like speech where he's like, oh, I'll use everyone and blah 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 blah. All I care about is money and being famous and being a bad bitch. Wah, wah, wah. Like, yeah, that's pretty much what happened with that. Let's see what else happened. So they finally did that. I remember this week's episode, because this week's episode I think was more exciting. Like, I like this episode
by comparison, yeah.
Yes, by comparison. The first episode, the episode before that was kind of like meh, but this one was like, okay, we're sneaking in. It was like this time when she snuck in, it was a lot more memorable because it was a lot more funny.
Yeah, like they did something, and she had her like 50 layers of clothing on, and
she's slowly trying to take it off while Morgana was trying to break into the room.
Which, by the way, no one cares that the cat is trying to pick a lock in the. Like, they clearly see the cat trying to pick the lock, and he's like, "What? Is that a cat over there? What's going on?"
And then no, and she's like, "No, almost boobs. Look at me."
Did you see my bra? Look at my bra.
Yeah, right.
Pay no attention to the cat lock picking your door right now.
You're a growing young man. Look at me naked. Yeah. So the art teacher walks in on them in the room where full of like fake paintings, and I like the fact that it was even like worse than I imagined. Cause like not only is he selling fake paintings, like it was like layers of like really being shitty. Like,
surprise, he's a shitty person.
Like no, it was like a little shit. Like I thought he was already a shitty person for taking everyone's art and using it for his own.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, that's pretty bad. Like whatever. And then it was like, oh, on top of that, he's selling pics. I'm like, oh wow, that's also very shitty. And then he was like, on top of that, he had the original painting all along, created the false rumors, and now selling like all the fake paintings under the guise that they're real paintings to multiple people. And I'm like, Jesus.
I didn't say that plan would work because I feel like they would say, "Hey, I have a copy of that painting." Oh yeah, I also have a copy of that painting.
Exactly, yeah. In
real life,
yeah, I don't see that actually happening in real life, but for the sake of anime, like
sure,
yeah. So yeah, that was pretty nuts. And then he's just like, "I'm gonna call my security to have you like arrested." I'm like, that's also not how
it works.
It works. Like we can't. You know, I am a security officer. We can't can't detain you. We can't make a citizen's arrest. well, we can. But that's neither here nor there. Basically, they make their escape, and
what's his name gets his persona. New character who I hate. I don't hate him. I just don't like him. What's his name? Here's the problem with this show. I like
the original three. Like I know their names, but
the problem is, the game draws you in because there's so much attention to detail, and it's not that this show doesn't have attention to detail. It's hard to adapt a Persona game because the whole point of the Persona games is they're supposed to be very slow paced. And very custom tailored to your, like, if you're the type of person who wants to go to the movies, or if you're the type of person who wants to go out to eat with your friends and all that stuff, it's built around the details. So when you're just rushing through the main plot, I don't care about any of these people. I completely forgot this dude's name. Because I'm not up to this part in the game, by the way. So,
yeah.
So I completely forgot his name.
Yeah, but since we played the game with like all the beginning three people and Morgana, like it's easier
to remember their names. Plus, they're the main characters. This guy who just joined, I guess he's gonna become a main character, but I don't care about him at all. And the show has not made me want to care about him at all because he's kind of had like this one note personality. He comes off now as like more of a straight man in the end of this episode.
Phrasing?
Well, that's what he's called, a straight man. I don't know. He's like playing off of Morgana and Ryuji.
Straight man? Like, what do you mean by straight man? Like,
you never heard that term? Like the straight man, to a joke character.
Oh, I guess I haven't.
There's no way you've not heard the straight man term before. Episode 69.
honey, when you do like me, there is no such thing as a straight man.
Either way, I don't care much about the character, so I don't really care about it.
Me neither, but I like his persona. It's pretty cool.
His persona's cool. That's probably the best part. His persona looks awesome. But I'm hoping that they do more. I don't know if they can, though. There's a limit on, I guess, how far you can go with an adaptation. It was cool at first, but now it's kind of drawing on, and I'm just like,
Maybe they'll make his character better.
Maybe. There is supposed to be, like, an anime original ending and stuff, so there's maybe, like, the one time I want to see them stray away from the source material, because it's great, but, like, I could just play the game, and it'll be infinitely better, so We'll see.
We'll see. Let's talk about Golden Kamuy. Can we, please?
Yes, episodes 5 and 6 for Golden Kamuy. Episode 5 picks up right off where we left off in episode 4.
This is like after they break out. They break
after
out.
They try to break him out, and then he's still locked up, and those two dudes show up. That want to kill him.
The twin brothers.
The twins, yeah. And Sugimoto just fucks them up.
He actually kills one of them.
That was ingenious, though. That episode's whole setup was great, where he kills one of them and then he takes their guts out and like uses them to make it look like it's his guts. Yeah. So they rush him over to the hospital and just surprise.
That was actually ingenious. Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. I knew it was some kind of trap, but I'm like, I thought they were gonna ambush the cart. Like, I thought it was gonna be like
simple ambush.
Yeah. But no, that was actually really, really well done. It caught me by surprise.
Yeah, and then the villain, literally, as he's just like, I'm on my horse, horse gets shot down. Literally, as if nothing happens, he just falls over and just starts running.
Yeah. He's badass. I love that. He's like my favorite villain right now. He's just so crazy and badass. He even is like gonna shoot Sugimoto, and he's like, nah. Wait for later, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have to shoot him right now.
So that's great. I'm pretty sure we'll see him again. And even though his like whole headquarters burned down and half his squad is dead or whatever. So that was great. Clearly the escape artist guy is now going to be a recurring character. So.
Kind of has to be at this point. Oh, yeah, he's like, I didn't find the maps. And he's like, and the bad guy villain was like, I was wearing them.
Yeah, I have a coat made out of them. I also love how Ashipa is not useful. Like, she's borderline more useful than Sugimoto is.
Yeah, in some cases she's more useful than Sugimoto, absolutely.
Like, she's actually very, very good. And especially if it's anything to do with outside of the town, like if they're trapping or...
Yeah, in the forest, like that, she's way more useful.
Mm-hmm. She's very, very good. Very good way to do your female lead character, too. And, I don't know, the show continues just to have this weird way of transitioning between comedy and grotesque shit.
Yes, like I think in the beginning of this episode. Oh, by the way, I guess I should probably finish up last episode by saying that like there's like an introduction of a new character, and they bring back an old one. This guy, what is his name? I definitely wrote. Nihei, who's like some kind of bear hunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then some guy who's like obsessed with like killing
the wolf.
Seeper's wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madagari. Is it Madagi?
No. The guy's name Madagi.
Yeah.
And then
did I just say Matahari?
Yeah, I think you did. Sorry, it's not Matahari. It would have been awesome if Matahari showed up in this.
But yeah, they show up at like the end.
And it's cool because it's kind of like, I just realized it now, but it's like one team of a soldier and a tracker versus another team of a soldier and a tracker. Mm-hmm. Like, or a hunter and a soldier or whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know. It's a really cool way to pit these two teams against each other.
Exactly.
Aslipa and Sugimoto versus Madagi
and then once again, at the start of the episode, this is how they just put in all like this random humor, because this guy, even though he's one of the bad guys, and he, as you go on the episode, it's revealed he has like a tattoo, also reveals that he has a huge behind. Mm-hmm. He's just like, his joke is just always like making dick jokes. Like, he just makes dick jokes all the time.
Constantly. To the point where he even, like, I was going to make a dick joke, and he literally made it before me, so props to that guy. He knows. He knows his dick jokes.
Like, it's, oh my god, like, he was so funny. Like, he's very amusing. Like, especially because it's coming from, like, someone you wouldn't expect. Yeah, making like, boner jokes. Like,
the villains in this show are really fucking awesome.
They really are.
They're really fucking cool. Like, even though the guy's a villain, I kind of like him. He's just,
yeah, I know. I like him too.
Screaming about dicks every 5 minutes.
He's like, oh gosh, hey, don't get too hard. Don't get such a big boner that just pops through like a tent. And I'm like, why are you saying this? Like, why are you literally talking right now. Please stop.
Which, speaking of popping out of the tent, the whole drunk scene where they all get wasted in a
I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to give like a 9-year-old alcohol.
She just literally pops out of the hut. I don't know why. She like dives through the roof of the hut and it's just stuck there.
He's like, this meat is so good, and it jumps through. Like we think it's like an anime jump, but it's like an actual real jump, and she's just like stuck
in the roof. It was great. I love the characters so much. They're all so good. This definitely feels like I don't know what to compare it to, but
yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's very like Hinamatsuri, and it's very different from anything I've ever watched.
It's super good. If you do want an action show and you don't mind
mind things getting skinned.
Yeah, like there's a real freak out gross moments where it's like literally they'll eat brains. Listen, if you're squeamish like me, it's hard to sit through.
Yes, if you're squeamish, don't watch this. I'm totally fine with that.
I think even if you're squeamish, you should watch it. I'm squeamish and I watch it, but just be aware that you're gonna be watching like them actually dig through. I don't know, like a
animated guts. They're not real.
It doesn't matter.
It literally looks like pink gum.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to see a brain, like a deer's head get scalped and then them eat his brain with a spoon, which literally happens in this episode. So, it's more the thought than anything else. Like sometimes people just say things to me like kidney, and my kidney will just hurt. Listen, I don't have to see anything. I'm super squeamish.
Oh, then what happens when I say the word ribs? Hey, you want some ribs? Does your ribs start hurting?
Sometimes I have to be in the mood.
I feel like I almost don't believe that.
No, it depends on the context. Like if somebody, all right, let's put it this way: if somebody just said to me, "Hey, you want to eat some ribs?" I'm like, "All right, cool, I'll eat some ribs."
Okay.
But if it's like a context where I'm in a hospital and somebody says ribs,
different. Obviously,
I'll be like,
that's
ribs.
Obviously different. And first of all, whenever they talk about like
I have to be hyper aware of the fact that they're
about to eat. They're always about to eat the animal.
Well, no, all right. Also, by the same token, under any circumstance, if I am shown pictures of a brain or intestines, I'm gonna be like grossed out by it.
Yeah, it's gross, but it's not like, oh my god. I feel like it's not as bad because it's just anime.
Well, if you have the mental fortitude of Drooby Doo, then you'll love this show.
Yeah, I guess
for the rest of us.
Speaking of shows that require mental fortitude
to get through in some cases, like Card Captor, Sakura, Clear Card Hen episodes 18 and 19.
Yes.
18 was good.
18 was good. Remind me, what was 18 again?
I was gonna ask you that. All I remember from 18 was the Moltres.
Oh,
or the Kuno
fight. Right. That's all I remember too. I forget.
It's funny because there was a bunch of bullshit that happened
before
that. And I was like, whatever. It was the standard fare card captor shit.
But like that was actually like really good, and it wasn't like
it was just standard.
No. Like as in like the whole card capturing aspect.
Yeah.
And it took a huge chunk of the episode too.
I think because I saw this episode like a week and a half ago. And it was, so it's hard to remember, because nothing memorable happened before the card fight. So in my mind, it was just like, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure Tomoyo said something.
I think this is like the big reveal of like the bunny can talk, like.
Was that? Did they?
I think so. I think that was a big reveal where they're like showing like the rabbit talking.
Well, I thought that was a couple of weeks ago where they showed her talking to, Kaito.
Kaito? You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, yeah, I literally...
So I don't know what happened. Just fill in the blank. Tomoyo and Sakura were talking, and Tomoyo filmed her, and yada yada yada.
Yada yada. And
then suddenly card fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was a really good card fight.
Yeah, the card fight itself was great.
And I like that Lee is like literally showing his worth. Like, I'm not saying.
Like I mentioned, he should have since the very beginning. I'm like, hey, isn't Lee a magic user? Shouldn't he be like doing magic?
And then Lee was like, oh, I'm not sure if I can. Little did we know that was because Lee was in the mountains training to be a badass motherfucker, and literally is like super binding spell attack. Like,
I think he's actually as good as Sakura at this
point.
Oh
yeah, no, he did as strong as Sakura.
So they had that. We had I guess they're gonna do this with all the elements now. Like we have the water bird.
Yeah.
Now we have the fire bird. So I'm guessing we're gonna get like an electric one and a earth one.
Well, not electric bird, but definitely like it could be like an earth bird.
Well, we don't have any like electric cards yet.
Not yet.
Lightning or something.
But
I feel like lightning is going to be a card for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I'm probably going to call it Spark or something.
Don't we have a Spark card?
In like the Cloud cards? Or the Sakura cards?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
it's just Thunder, I believe.
So then, yeah, it's probably going to be Spark or something like that. Current. They like to go out there and use more fancy words.
Current.
They have a thesaurus there open just for different cards.
But this episode, I really like this episode.
This week's episode was... Wait, no. This week's episode?
Or should I say I liked it? No, you're right. You're right. No, this episode.
If you like this week's episode,
never mind. I only liked it towards the end. Yeah, no, this episode, like, I can tell.
90% of this episode was them reading about the fox and the fucking mittens that he bought.
Yeah, right.
It was
let's read to children and shit.
Which
I was like,
I thought was gonna be like, I knew they were gonna read the story. I'm like, it's gonna be like a 2-minute thing or like a 1-minute thing where they're like, this is a story about the fox and how he bought me. They told this story
literally
from the beginning to the end.
Oh my goodness!
And it was
so long.
It was at least 8 minutes of them just reading the story.
Long. And then before
about how
that,
Fox bought fucking
before all that crap, it was kind of cute because I don't know, there's some little parts. Let me take out my notes and do some references.
I have so many questions about that story, so
I have none because I have no interest in it.
Well, we have to make this interesting, so I'm gonna ask my questions after you.
I loved Lee's Ingarisu.
Oh yeah, he at least speak English
for no reason.
No reason, just
no reason. You're like, oh, what's story time? And then I know he's like, it's when you read books to kids. And I'm like, why did you have to say that in English? Like, I'm sure you could just say that in Japanese, and she would be like, oh, okay. Like,
cool.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and then they like kind of ask Lee to do like, oh, can you do the accompaniment, like for no reason, just play the piano while you tell a story. And Lee's like, oh, I'm not sure. And Sakura's like, pretty please, pretty please, oh. And then he's like, oh no, I can't say no to my girlfriend when she's this cute. And he agrees too. So I like that because that's like the first time like they've done something so like
cute.
Yeah, like in such like a relationship way,
yeah.
Where she's like, "Oh, please do this for me," and it's like, and they all make like a whole joke out of it.
We'll get back to that because
yeah, and then as before the story starts, and then Lee starts his accompaniment, and it's like, "Oh, my piano for some reason sounds like an organ."
Yeah, that part. That was like, I don't know if this show just like lost its mind, but it was just like
sometimes
whatever.
They just go so over the top of like the whole music, like the musicality of everything.
He was not playing a piano at all, though.
It was a piano.
It didn't sound like a piano.
That's not what an organ is at all. Like an organ, like an organ's like freaking gigantic.
I know, but right? It was making organ sounds.
I don't know why it was.
He might as well have been playing a piano and it would just been like a Led Zeppelin in the background playing guitar or something. Because those were not piano notes he was playing.
Yeah, it was.
He was
really
playing like an imaginary organ.
So like I know they're trying to make everything so nice and pretty and flowery, which for some reason they have to incorporate a shit ton of music into it, like music themes and stuff. It's like sometimes you guys are just doing a bit much. It's like a bit much, in my opinion.
So my question about the story, because that comprises literally about a third of the episode, if not more, so we're going to talk about it. One, so the story is about a mother fox who tells her child fox that he needs mittens, otherwise he's going to freeze to death because it's super cold, and he should get them from the village, but to be careful, because in the village, she was there once with her friend, and once people noticed she was a fox, they tried to hunt her and kill her or whatever, and she escaped. So she gives him a human hand and his fox hand. So he's walking around like half... he doesn't transform into a human. No. He's just a fox, but has one hand that's a human hand, and the rest of his hands are fox hands. So he's
like,
weird...
She's like, I ran out of magic today. Like, sorry, you only got a hand.
Some weird that hand. Fucking chimera homunculus thing walking down the village with a human hand. Obviously no one's going to say anything. She tells him to knock on the door. So many inconsistencies. So many inconsistencies. She tells him to knock on the door of the hat maker to buy mittens from him. So I'm just like, why is he buying mittens from the hat maker? So, but he has to reach in with his human hand, not with his fox. For some reason, people with this village do business by opening the door halfway and sticking their hands in. So he opens the door, and then the fox puts in his fox hand by mistake instead of his grotesque, misplaced human hand. And still somehow gets coins and buys them.
He's like, oh, I have these silver coins. Can you make them for me? He's like, oh, from this fox holding out his 2 coins. His guy clearly is paying me to make gloves. Even though I'm a hat maker. Okay.
Sure. I don't know how things are done in Japan, but something tells me if I was like in that village and I looked out my window and I saw like a fox.
Like this was like this is like gonna be like the OVA, the freaking the ancient
bride mage.
the ancient mage's bride. Like I feel like that's like this is the OVA because that's something that actually would happen in the OVA.
I hope that Sakura didn't write this story because if she did, she's a horrible writer. Horrible. I'm sure she didn't, but
no,
whoever wrote this story, God, you're horrible. Stop. There's so many illogical inconsistencies in what must have been like a 15-page children's
I feel
book.
so bad for those kids. They're going to be so stupid from that story. They're going to think so many weird, dumb things. Like, they're going to come home, tell the whole story, and even the parents are going to be kind of upset. They're like, okay. We get it. It's a kind of whimsical story, but come on. All right.
Yeah. No, well, the part that pissed me off the most is that the fox got 2 mittens, because obviously he's going to freeze them. He has 4 paws! Why does he have 2 mittens? Shouldn't he get 4 mittens? All his paws are still touching the floor. So is only half his body going to be frostbitten?
I literally don't care enough to answer that question.
Also, foxes don't need them because they evolved to the point where they can... If you're a fox living in snowy mountain conditions, I assume that you don't need mittens. You have adapted to use your fur to protect you and keep you warm. Yeah. But whatever. Story makes no sense. This episode was revolved around a stupid story that made no sense. Was there even a cloud card in this episode?
No, there wasn't.
There was not. Okay, so
there are no cloud cards because they don't exist anymore.
Is there even a Sakura card in this episode?
No.
Okay, then.
But I will say this much because this is actually like super important. At the end, she's like, "Oh, I recorded this entire thing."
Right. That one piece of story that happened.
No, because that's literally the only important thing from this entire episode. Because and I mean like really important. I know I didn't need to go into this more than like the rest of the episode, but whatever.
Yeah, to tell the
like
story.
they showed a recording and she's like, they is apparently like recording like this other scene. Like, oh, the hospital's here, but like when we're not in it, oh, this kind of sucks. Oh man, we messed up. And then Koro's like. Not Koro. Keto is like, oh, well, I need to go eat some chocolates and
I gotta go see UA, bye.
Yeah, bye. And then he goes to UA and he's like, okay, so this is kind of getting into, like, they're like, okay, so her powers, like, her magic has evolved to a point where, like, she, without noticing, she recorded stuff that happened in the past. Like, that's some grade A level shit. Like, there's only 3 magicians that can do that now. Yeah. And then they're like, she's kind of really strong. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of really strong. And they're, like, saying it like it's, like, you know, like, it's ominous. Like, they're being very ominous about, like, how strong she's getting.
I feel like that card is now also OP. It went from being, like, a stupid, like, what's the point of the record card?
Wait, first of all, I never thought it was stupid.
Yeah, you did not
like
think
in real day-to-day purposes, that card can be very OP.
I mean, you could use it surveillance and stuff.
Exactly.
But I never thought it was not like, wow, this is among her strongest cards, the record card. Not. But no, apparently it is. Apparently, because it can see, I'm sure if it can see the past, it probably can see the future or something. So.
Oh God.
That's an OP ass card.
Excuse me.
So. Yeah. Yep, that was Card Captors episode.
It was. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode, just because I want them to go into that more because they've been hinting at it a lot in like the last few episodes. Like, wow, she's really strong. Whoa, Sakura can do all this magic.
Also,
stuff. She's really strong.
There's no way that this is gonna be 22 episodes. They're gonna extend it. There's gonna be like another season or something because it's not gonna be 22 episodes. Okay. We're on episode 20 and the main villain has barely been talked about. So.
quote-unquote villain.
Yeah, we don't even know if he's the villain yet. Momo hasn't even said anything, aside from that one conversation she had with
in this anime, it's like no one's really like the villain.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out 60 episodes from now, I'm sure. Anywho, that about wraps it up for us. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 69. And if you did, please do leave a like and comment. If you are so generous, you can also donate to us on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube sponsor, just like these lovely people up here on screen right now who are all wonderful patrons of the channel and enable us to do such wonderful videos. You can also follow us on Twitch, Discord, and Twitter. And Drew, do you have anything to add to episode 69?
Do it sideways. It's just much more comfortable.
Is it a 69 at that point, or is it like a...
No, it's still 69 at that point.
I feel like there should be another name for it.
It's 69. Think about it this way. Like koi fish. Like koi fish swimming around each other.
Well, wouldn't it be like a... I don't know. But if it's... I feel like there should be a totally different name if it's sideways as opposed to on your back.
It's really the same concept.
I don't know, but I feel like it should have a different name.
Okay.
Listen, the whole point of sexual positions is that you're still doing the same thing in a different position. Once you move from being on your back to sideways, you're technically in a different position.
That's like saying the difference between that's like saying 69 inside 69 is like different from cowgirl and reverse cowgirl.
That's what they're called different things.
Oh, it's just one word. It's like
by the way,
you can say it's a variation.
This is so demonetized by YouTube. We're not even gonna try to not. Are we gonna fight this when it's demonetized?
Maybe let's have a clean title? Question mark.
Yeah, let's trick YouTube. All right, guys. I'm sure we'll see you guys next time. This has been Soberoni and
Jubidu desu.
And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.